Welcome back. Last time, we explored the visual elements of branding, but there's so much more to discover. I'm Annie, an intuitive branding and web designer, and today we're diving into the powerful world of brand voice. Before we dive in, let's quickly recap what branding means. According to Shopify, branding is the process of creating a distinct identity for a business in the minds of your target audience and the general population. At its core, branding consists of a company's name and logo, visual identity design, mission, values, and tone of voice. It encompasses both visual elements and voice, which is what we're focusing on today. Here's the list from my last video showing everything I consider to be included in branding, broken down into these two categories, visual and voice. Again, if you haven't seen the first of this two-part series where we went through visuals, the link is below. I would highly recommend giving it a watch. Now, let's get into voice. Company name. Let's start with the foundation of your brand identity, which is your company name. Think about how Apple immediately conjures images of sleek, innovative technology. Your company name is often the first thing potential customers encounter, so it needs to make a lasting impression. Company tagline or slogan. When I say Nike, you say, just do it. Am I right? This is the perfect example of the power of a tagline, or a slogan as they're also called. In fact, you could simply see the word somewhere and instantly know it was something to do with Nike. Now, not every business is going to have a traditional slogan, so that's why I also include tagline in this. As of filming this, the tagline from my design studio, Kindred and Kind, is empowering your business through bespoke branding and intuitive web design. It's a bit longer than Nike's, but it sums up what my studio does so that you know, and I think it sounds nice too. So whether you use a tagline which describes what your brand offers, or a slogan which encapsulates the essence of your brand's spirit, or even both, you've got to make sure that there is alignment with your vision. Because who knows, someday you might have the kind of household brand which everyone knows by these very important words. Mission, vision, and value statements. I feel like a lot of people know this phrase, mission, vision, values, but don't really take the time to stop and think them through for their own business. They are incredibly important no matter what industry you're in, as they communicate the essence of your business to clients. And when you look to grow your team, it can be a great tool in helping you find team members who believe in what you're doing. Elevator pitch. I know this sounds super cliche, but if you found yourself stepping into an elevator with someone who could potentially make your vision become reality, and you knew you only had a couple minutes to sell them on it, what would you say? This is on my list because, while for a lot of businesses, online presence and marketing will be how people encounter their brand for the first time, that is not always the case. Sometimes you will find yourself in a real life scenario where you have the opportunity to share what you do, and taking the time to craft what you would say ahead of time to be sure it is aligned with your vision and consistent with your branding could open doors for your business which never would have opened online. Copy, tone of voice. You've probably been told this before, but I'll say it now. It isn't always what you say that matters, it's how you say it. Making sure that your copy has the correct tone of voice for the audience you're speaking to is so important in creating a connection with them. If you want your message to resonate with your ideal audience, this has to be one of the things you nail down in your branding. Some examples of tone of voice would be humorous, excited, sincere, urgent, etc. To a degree, this will probably fluctuate a bit within your brand's copy depending on the type of content you're sharing. Think about the contrast between a behind-the-scenes post versus a sales post, for example. But the same underlying tone of voice should be consistent. Think about the foundation of your brand, the underlying vibe, which should permeate every bit of copy, and start with that. Then you can layer on from there. Copy style. I'm separating this out from tone of voice because even though it may seem like splitting hairs, as someone who has been writing novels since I was 10 years old, I understand the importance of style in writing. You can have the same two brands who offer the same things in the same niche, but they have different styles of communicating. Style refers to the flair of the copy. Is it short and sweet, flowery and feminine, warm and inviting, or more technical and impersonal? The style of your copy goes hand in hand with the tone of voice to craft messages which will help people checking out your brand decide if your story is one they wish to explore more or not. As you think about your brand's vision and vibe, this is one thing to consider. How is the style of your copy communicating that vision? Keywords used. Not to venture too far into the website bit of the equation, as I'll be covering that in future videos, but one hugely important element of aligned branding is keywords you use within your written communication. If you've ever read about SEO, you'll probably already know how important keywords can be for getting found online. They also serve a function in the telling of your brand's story as well. Because a single word can be so powerful as to paint a picture in someone's mind in a heartbeat, it is so important to be sure that you have crafted a list of keywords which align with your brand's visuals and voice. And there you have it, the essential voice elements of branding. We've only scratched the surface, so if you would like to learn more, let me know in the comments what specific topic you would like me to explore in future videos. Also, don't forget to download the free branding worksheet I've linked in the description. It's a great tool to start refining your brand's voice right away. Before we wrap up, here's a thought to ponder from branding expert Jonah Sachs. Your brand is a story unfolding across all customer touchpoints. Until next time.